What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. For today's episode, we have a new listener writing in, so sit back, relax, and watch us dive in.
Ooh, I
As
like
always, I'm Dallas Terrell.
And I am Jeremy Miller.
And we are the Betterment Bros. What's up, everyone? Welcome back. We are here. We are excited. New listeners, new problems, new challenges. It's Wednesday. We're feeling good.
We're feeling great.
How you feeling, Jeremy?
It's Tuesday, though, for them.
Damn.
But it's Wednesday for us. We get what you mean. We get what you mean, no doubt.
We always do that.
Yeah.
Anyways, Jeremy.
Yeah, man.
We do this thing. We do this podcast, too.
We do.
You and me.
Yeah.
We're doing this podcast, and a lot of the times, we'll do takeaways before we do anything else.
That's true.
And I thought today we could do that again.
Okay.
Did that land with you?
Yeah, that lands. I feel emotional resonance with that, Dal. Let's do some takeaways, bro.
Good. Okay, man. Well, I think I'd be totally cool with you going first.
Cool, man. All right, strap in, dude. We're on the takeaway train. Fucking one-way stop.
To the football?
One-way ticket. Here we go, dude.
You almost said choo-choo, bro.
I did, dude. I did. Oh. I almost made the choo-choo sound.
You did do it. For the audience that can't see, he did the fucking arm pump, like press the horn when you see a truck driver.
All right, we're leaving the station. Here we go, Dal. All right, Dal. Here's my takeaway. I recently started working with this little outpatient program in Los Gatos, and they practice Sundo. Sundo, okay? Now, I had never heard of Sundo before. I had obviously never done it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, these guys, they're like, hey, you know, if you're working with us, what we'd really like is for you to participate in the practice we do with our clients, you know, so that you get
a feel.
You get a good feel for it. And also because we want you to experience the wins that you can get from it. And I'm like, that's up my alley, dude. All the woo-woo stuff, I'm feeling it. You know what I mean?
You're feeling it, man.
Yeah, so, dude, I did Sundo, right? And it's awesome. I don't know much about it, Dal, if I'm being real with you.
But what do you know about it? Because I don't know much either.
Lord. It reminds me a lot of yoga, in that you are doing poses and stretches while, you know, focusing on the mind-body connection and your breathing.
Got it.
And with Sundo, what you're doing is you're focusing on deep belly breaths, like where the center of your chi is. All right. And essentially like creating power and harnessing your power through connecting your mind and your body. Now, that's my interpretation. I know that as I experience more and learn more, I'm going to want to get back on here and just kind of clear my name, because if there are any Sundo enthusiasts listening right now, any Sundoers at home listening, they're going to be like, yo, Jeremy, you just butchered that, bro.
Shit.
But that was my experience, my interpretation.
And it was organic, too.
Yeah.
It's like, this is what I think it was.
But it's cool, dude, because you like wake up your body.
I like that.
You know, and you do like a lot of stuff on your fingertips. Mm-hmm. Like at the end, you do like push-ups on your fingertips.
Oh, shit.
Bro, that shit is so hard.
That's some Bruce Lee shit.
Dude. But like the first time I did it, I couldn't even do one, dude. I couldn't even support myself on my fingertips.
Wow.
And on Tuesday, dude, I did 3.
3 fingertip pushies.
Fingertip push-ups.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, dude. Because like push-ups are my jam, dude. I love push-ups. Mm-hmm. But on the fingertips, it's like a whole new world, dude. And, Dal, check this out, bro.
Checking. Flexibility. Dude,
I just touched my toes, audience. And Dal, to clear up why that's a big deal, Dal and I were talking like a week and a half ago about how I can't even touch my toes.
Tight hamstrings.
Yeah, dude, I got tight hammies, bro. But dude, I'm touching my toes now.
Dude.
Yeah.
Sick ass win.
Yeah, man, that's my takeaway.
Stretching?
Yeah.
Dude. Stretching's important.
I've been stretching, dude. Now when I go to the gym, that's my other takeaway actually, is that the first half hour I'm there, all stretching.
I love that. Just warm up the body.
Yep.
You can even do some sundo in the gym.
Yeah, dude. Well, it'd look a little weird, but hey, I don't care, you know.
Yeah, you do, but you don't.
I do.
You said I don't care, and your face was like, I totally do.
Yeah, dude.
God, we got to get cameras up in here, dude.
I know,
the
man.
audience misses so much gold.
I know.
We apologize about that, but we will get it figured out.
Yeah, someday.
Sunday.
Sundo. All right, Dal, what's your takeaway, bro? We're on a runaway train right now.
We are. We're going to go takeaway town. So my takeaway for this week, well, I guess on Saturday, I competed at the Granite Games again.
Yep.
The spring throwdown. So I think the win there was just being able to go out and do a bunch of workouts and compete with a whole bunch of cool people. I actually met the guy that coached our like CrossFit level 1 group. He was actually competing on a team. So I got to like kind of like see a bunch of people I don't really know very well, but like respect and admire just based on the things that they do in the CrossFit community. So that was pretty cool. They had tacos there. It was raining. Yeah, I don't know, man. It was just a good time. It was a good time.
Yeah.
And I feel like our team did really good for our team.
Yeah.
And that's the goal. Like, do we want to fucking win? Absolutely. Are we that fit? Fuck no.
Right.
Do we want to be? Yes.
Are you on your way?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So we did, like, for example, we practiced one of the workouts like 2 weeks prior to the actual competition. In competition, we did it 2 minutes and 40 seconds faster.
There you go,
than when we
dude.
practice.
There you go.
Right? So to be able to do something dramatically faster than when you practice, it's cool. You know? So that was a big takeaway. And another takeaway is I'm going to Florida to see my dad soon, dude. Jeff Terrell.
That's right.
You know, see the whole fam. And me and my girlfriend are going out to Florida for like 11 days. We're going to go catch a bunch of fish, catch a tan.
Man.
And just enjoy life, dude. And hopefully not catch the coronavirus.
I think you guys will be okay in Florida.
I think so too, dude.
Yeah.
We're super healthy.
You're healthy people, dude. You've
gonna
got
be
your
fine.
wits about you.
We do. We got our
You
wits
know?
about us for sure.
Yeah. We all know Jeff Terrell does. That's for damn sure,
Fuck
dude.
yeah. There's no coronavirus in his house.
No way.
He'd kill it.
Yeah, he'll
He'd
stop
shoot
it at
it
the
in the
door.
face.
Yeah.
But that's my takeaway, dude. Got to compete, got to exercise, going on vacation. Life's good, dude.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, and for the audience, you know, if you're local, which, I mean, we have listeners, Dal, all over the world, literally. But for those that are local to the Santa Cruz area, you know, coming up at these events, Dal and I are going to be exhibiting. We're going to have a little booth, right, where you can come hang out with the Betterment Bros, see Dal work out with all the, you know, all our fit friends. I'll be manning the booth, okay? I don't do the CrossFit comps because...
He'll be doing fingertip push-up competitions.
Yeah, dude. I'll be competing with... I got nothing, Dal. I'll be eating tacos, sitting at the booth, bro.
Dude, that's how you should live your weekends.
Yeah, man.
That's how it should be.
If you're interested in that, let us know. We'll post, you know, for the next one, if we're going to make an appearance, we'll post some info on the gram and Facebook and stuff, and invite everybody so that if you want to come, you can come hang out with the bros.
Come hang out with the bros. See what's going down.
See what's going down.
Good plug. Good idea.
Good plugs, dude, all around. So why don't we jump into the email that we got, Dal?
I'm all for that, Jeremy. That's actually why I'm here.
Yeah, that's why you're here. I've cordially invited you. I'm stalling right now to pull it up, but here we go. Okay. So, Dal, this actually was not an email. It came in on the gram.
It did.
Okay, which we also encourage you guys. If you're like, hey, guys, I don't
Email's
email.
old.
Okay, I gram. Right? Is that a verb yet? I gram.
Yeah, you can gram.
You could gram.
I gram.
So here, I'm going to read the message.
Read the message, bro.
Okay. So this is from Emily. We're going to call her Emily. Okay. And she said that she's a new listener and
Love that.
doesn't know if we've already, you know, spoken to this topic. But here it is. She says, she's got a reputation for being kind of a wild partying jet setter, as she says.
A lot like us.
Not like us. We're just wild partiers, dude. But recently, she decided to move home to help out her aging parents, save a little money, and also change careers. She hasn't broadcast that she's 8 months sober. She hasn't broadcast how hard it's been or how she had to do it in order to save herself. She says, I'm back in my tiny county town, and I run into people and find them disappointed when they find out that I don't have a trip planned. Like I said, she's kind of a wild partying jet setter, her words. I can't date or meet people because everything is centered around getting drunk. I'm taking pre-nursing classes at the community college, and I've already heard people say, don't you have a master's? What are you even doing? Quotes. I don't look down on anyone for living a different life, but I feel this shame for not being a fun party girl and instead living at home and starting over. I'm grappling with the shame, and if I'm creating my own misery by not giving in to going out or staying in a career I don't want just to play the part I've created for myself. I wanted to hear about others potentially dealing with similar feelings. And then I asked, what was her career? What's she looking to move into? And she said that she was a teacher abroad in a different country and felt like she kind of hit a ceiling salary-wise, challenge-wise. She was really happy to work hard Monday through Friday and then just party through the weekend, right?
Got it.
She then said that she's really into public health, nutrition, and fitness, and nursing will open a lot of doors for her to help others, which is when she feels most valuable.
Okay. A lot to unpack there.
Boy, I stumbled through reading that one, Dal.
It's okay. It's hard to read things when they're not yours.
True. Okay, thanks, man. Good reframe.
Yeah, I got you, dude.
Yeah. Lot to unpack there, dude.
A lot to unpack there. A couple things that stand out to me is the sobriety part. Love that.
Love it.
Emily, congrats on being sober. 8 months is a feat in itself.
Huge milestone.
Especially for someone that might be new to recovery or it could be their first time or just anybody. 8 months, not ruining your life is a sweet, sweet takeaway.
Amen.
So congrats to you on that. And thank you for broadcasting it to people like us.
Yep.
Who love that shit.
Yep.
Super cool. You're not alone. That stands out to me. A lot of early recovery things pop out to me. The dating scene, who to hang out with, who to not hang out with. All of these changes in one. Who am I? What am I doing? Shame and guilt. Did I make the wrong decision? A lot of self-doubt. What am I doing? I had it so good. The grass is always greener type of thing, like we talked about last episode.
Yeah.
Or 2 episodes ago.
Mm-hmm.
What else stands out to me? Projection a little bit. A little bit of
notes on
projection.
that. Yep.
Right. Kind of projecting your thoughts onto the situation. And what else? What stands out to you?
Those things.
Exactly.
Yeah, all of those things exactly.
That's why we do this together, I think.
Yeah, dude. I think so for me, the big 3, the big 4, and I'll give them in order. Number 1, the shame, right? That's what I would like to tackle the most.
Of course.
I feel like you've kind of got the early recovery stuff in the bag. I'd like to tackle the shame.
Totally. Yeah, I'll tackle the shame.
Yeah, right. But then also like being in the closet with her recovery, right? I put that in air quotes.
I like that. That's a good way to put it.
Being in the closet with her recovery, I find that interesting. I'd like to talk about that. And
kind of ties into shameful a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. The dating thing and, kind of disappointed that she isn't who other people would like her to be.
Of course.
So the first thing that I found really interesting was that in her message, she said, dealing with the shame of going backwards in order to move forwards, right? That sentence to me is so telling. And what really kind of struck me emotionally when I very first read it was, well, why is that going backwards? What about your situation equals moving backwards, right? Because, and I'm going to try not to get like so fucking cerebral with this, but according to who? who is saying that what you're doing is moving backwards, right? Because to me, I am such a believer in people harnessing their own power and stepping into their power, that making moves, it can be like a sensation of moving backwards because, like, yeah, I was a teacher and I was traveling and I was, in all these social circles, and I'm like seemingly, quote unquote, progressing through my life. And then I take a U-turn and go back to where I started, right? But my challenge is, what if that is actually moving forward? Because to me, and one big detail I did not ask was her age.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I wish I knew how old she was.
I think we could probably peg her at late 20s.
Yeah, like mid to like 26.
Right. I would be surprised if she was older than 30.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you are, I'm terribly sorry.
Well, yeah, and I mean, you look young.
Yeah,
is what we're trying to say. Mm-hmm. But according to who is it going backwards, right? Because according to societal standards, yeah, sure. But if you got, you're a new listener, so you haven't heard me talk about how I feel about societal standards, but fuck societal standards, right? Your path is your own. It looks like what it looks like to best serve you. And so to me, it's like, this U-turn that she took, I feel, is more forward growth than I think she's giving herself credit for.
I feel exactly the same way about that. And because of that same sentence, where it's like, I thought almost, I wouldn't say going backwards. I would be more prone to say a lateral move, if anything.
Sure.
Right. You're stepping to the side.
Yeah. Lateral.
Society wise.
Yeah.
So that you can propel forward somewhere else.
Yep.
Which I think is fucking awesome.
Yeah, dude. And
I don't see that as a negative.
And you know what, like for Emily, to me, what is going backwards is continuing on a path, knowing that it does not serve you anymore.
Right.
Right. Like we all hit a point in each chapter. Like a book is not one chapter, right? Like there's no book that's just one chapter. Mm-hmm. When you look at a story, we tell it in segments because stories are ever evolving. It's not like you can just tell a story without transition and without barriers and challenges and shifts, right? And life is no different. So in Emily's book, it's just the beginning of a new chapter, which is how I like to look at time. I don't like to look at it like she's going backwards. I like to look at it as you're embarking on a new chapter.
A new part of the story.
A new part of the story, yeah. Mm. And what I do advise against, what I'm really opposed to, is people who find themselves in a rut where they like Emily said, hit that ceiling, financially, spiritually, personal, whatever you want to look at it like, where they hit that ceiling and then just coast for 20 years, right?
Yeah, or accept that ceiling. That's
moving backwards to me, right? And so in many ways, I want to reframe that for Emily and say, maybe this is moving forward. Right? You took the steps you needed to take in order to feel like you're progressing through life, not just stuck in the old.
Totally.
And then on that same thing, I'm sure that a lot of the notion of it being a backwards movement is the opinions of other people. She spoke to, people saying like, why are you going to nursing school? You already have your master's degree, and stuff like that. And I just wanted to add a little caveat, and that is that people's projections and judgments stem from their own insecurities, their own shortcomings, right? So it's like when they see her, when you see somebody and you create a judgment, right? You're really judging yourself, that aspect about yourself that you don't like, that you see present in somebody else.
Absolutely.
So a lot of the work I do with my own judgments is I'll see something and I'll pass a judgment on it. And then I'll ask myself immediately, how am I that way? Mm-hmm. And then the judgment goes away. And we judge unfairly.
We do.
Ourselves and others. So I also just wanted to throw that at her, to think with when people challenge her movement, when people challenge the actions that she's taken in her life, I want Emily to know that it is not what she's doing. It's their interpretation of what that means to them.
Absolutely.
That's what creates that judgment.
That's what creates, like that discontentment too. It's like, right, what I hear is like a lot of the people I know don't agree or like what I'm doing,
Right.
And I get that. I absolutely get that, where society and groups play a huge role on what is okay and what isn't okay. And I'm actually glad we're talking about that too, because I think another good solution that falls into this, but also early recovery, is like getting around people that are on board with what you're doing rather than off board.
Yeah.
Right. It's very easy to be successful and stay sober and grow and learn and give and do all these good things when everyone around you is doing it. Right. One of the greatest things about our recovery community is everyone's doing it. When everyone's doing it, it makes it very easy. Right. When I go to a CrossFit gym, we all go to CrossFit, and some people are like, holy shit, you guys work out 6 times a week. That's insane. But to us, like our habits, that's what we do. And it doesn't, in that niche or that culture, it doesn't seem bizarre, unfitting, or weird.
Right.
So I guess my suggestion to Emily is, how can we create that culture for you? Not, we obviously are here to help, but how could you create that culture for yourself?
Yep.
And another big part of that culture is the recovery aspect.
Yeah.
Right, where you're saying it's hard to go out because everyone is drinking and this and that. And that's very true.
Yeah, it is.
But what I do know too, as someone in recovery, you as someone in recovery, my life now in recovery, I know far more people that are sober than not sober.
Yep.
Because I've created it that way.
Yes.
And that's how I want it to be. We like to hang out with people that are like us.
Yep.
So I think a lot of the discomfort or a lot of the judgments or comparison or the projections could be reeled in by creating a support group, by creating a tribe that is a lot more on board with what you're doing rather than off board.
Yeah. I love that, dude. Yeah. And I think, a lot of Emily's situation is just so, it resonates with me as someone early in recovery.
Me too.
I mean,
completely.
Big time. Yeah. And I think a really important mind state for people, whether you're in recovery or not, right? Like the situation Emily is in. I mean, Dal, how many people do we know that are in this situation right now?
A bunch.
Of like, I want to make a change. I know I need to, so that it'll improve the quality of my life, but I'm too afraid to do it.
But how do I do it? There's all these barriers in my way.
Right. So,
everybody, I know.
Everybody, dude.
Yeah.
Emily, I have to applaud you because you, despite all this negative feedback, despite all this pushback and the connotation of like, oh my God, I'm moving backwards. Like I'm moving in with my parents. Like, God, I suck. Like, despite all that, you still did it because it's what's best for you.
Absolutely.
And I personally find it incredibly commendable that you move back in with your parents to help them out because they're getting older, to do the responsible thing and stack a little money in your bank account, and to ground in the possibility of creating the life you want to live. That there is zero wrong with that and everything right with that.
And there's not a lot that's cooler than that.
There's not.
To us.
No, dude.
Like that is so cool.
I just went through this exact journey, dude, of stepping out of the career I'd been in for 11 years because it was no longer serving me. And while I felt like, oh my gosh, like, what is this going to mean? What impact is this going to have on my group? What, like all these barriers and obstacles, and this loss of identity, right? Those are things that are very difficult to sit with. And Emily did it anyways. That is huge. That's big time. That is forward progress, right? And one of the things that really the mind state, before I got off on my tangent there, the mind state that I think is so incredibly valuable is that our perception is what creates reality, right? So how we perceive the world is how our world will be for us.
Of course.
Okay. And so I want her to kind of I would invite her to look at her recovery through that lens, right? If your recovery is not being broadcast, I would invite you to consider why that is, right? What would it mean if you did broadcast your recovery? I would like to think that if you have a healthy support group, people would be very encouraging of that. especially being is that you did it to save your own life. It sounds like things were pretty escalated for you to do this, right? So if recovery is something that's kept in the closet, your perception of recovery is something that I don't really want to share. If your recovery is linked in a way to this shame, then what your reality will consist of is shame. It will consist of people who are completely oblivious, naive, or opposed to recovery, right? So I know when I first started dating outside of our circle, I was so afraid to date people who weren't also in recovery. I felt like, how would they ever understand me? They're going to look at me as less than because I was a fucked up drug addict alcoholic, right? I don't deserve a normal civilian, normal person. And I kept attracting people way below my livingness because I perceived myself that way. So of course that's what I attract. And so one thing I really strongly advocate for is fucking get your recovery out there. Get it out there with whoever you can trust and slowly start to incorporate that more publicly in your life. And by doing so, you'll attract other people who live that way.
Absolutely.
It's like I hang out with people all the time that drink, right? But very rarely, if ever, are they fucking getting hammered or doing drugs or, getting like fucked up.
Absolutely.
Because I don't attract that anymore, right? People know like that if they do that kind of stuff, they're not going to do it around me because I'll intervene on them and be like, hey, bro, what are you doing? You know?
Absolutely.
And so I think by bringing that more into the light and destigmatizing your recovery, you'll notice that the people around you, you'll attract people around you that are incredibly supportive of that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with that more. And it leads me to a lot of experiences of people I know, or myself included, or others, like you post something, or when you do broadcast or say something about recovery, or I'm sober, or I'm this, or I'm that, I'm always surprised at who chimes in. Like, oh, I'm sober too, or
right.
A direct message, or a text message, like, thanks for doing that. Like when I got sober, for the audience, I got sober. If you guys listen to our story, I got sober at 22, so pretty young. When you're 22, no one else is sober.
No.
3-4 years go by. It's crazy to me how many people knew that I was sober and then reached out to me when they needed help or direction, or if they just reached out to me when they got sober to be like, hey, dude, me too.
Yeah.
So I directly relate with that experience of broadcasting or owning it being very beneficial.
And it's scary too.
It's totally scary because there's more judgment and comparison. And that's why she's living at home with her mom, because she had a drinking problem.
Right.
And that's why she left Asia. Or
sure.
So I totally get that too, the fear and everything and people not understanding. But I think it's something to own, because one thing I know with recovery, with myself included, is that recovery is like, it almost goes into like the forward backwards type of thing, where it's like recovery for everybody, I would say for everybody, is like the expansion of life, not the contraction of life. You know?
Sure.
So the fact that you got sober is a forward step.
Yep.
And while you're sober, everything that you're doing is a expansion.
Yep.
And that maybe that's why all of this change is taking place, is because now you're clear-headed and sober and can see the truth of what you want. And you're dealing with the barriers and the fear and the judgment and being scared or doubting what you're doing because it's uncharted territory. Mm-hmm. That's what sits with me a lot.
Me too.
This is all uncharted. I'm a little scared. I'm a little nervous, but I know where the fuck I want to go.
Yeah.
And that feels good.
And I know where I can't be any longer.
Totally. Absolutely. So I guess what I'm trying to say with that, Emily, is that you are moving forward. And I hope something we've said along the lines, at least thus far, could allow that to sit differently or be reframed to you. That two people that don't even know you are super happy and excited about your objective progress that we read about.
Yep. I'm pumped.
Yeah, in no way, shape, or form do I see what you've done as like this step back loser living with her parents, moving backwards, like midlife crisis.
Yeah, dude, and I just got to chime in, dude, because I just got fired up.
You got fired up.
Because here's the deal, dude, and I'm gonna get up on my soapbox real quick.
Boom.
All right, I'm on the soapbox in the Betterment Bros studio, guys. Here's the deal. All right, winners don't fucking hate on other people based on their decisions. Okay, so if someone's giving you shit about moving back in with your parents, they can fuck right off, dude. Because it's like, man, you know what? Like, passing judgment like that onto somebody without knowing the story, or even with knowing the story makes it even worse to give someone shit about that, right? But like we've said on the show before, you don't see Michael Jordan on Twitter like hating on people's videos, right? Because Michael Jordan's a winner. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? People that criticize others for their, people that criticize others for these steps in life that like Emily's taking, there is so obviously work they need to do themselves. It's emanating from a place of pain and suffering and has no objective meaning in your life. I just want to throw that down real quick.
I love that.
Because Emily, what you've done is incredible. What you're doing is incredible. I think it's so noteworthy that, the career she left teaching, which is empowering others to live better lives.
And learn and be educated.
Huge mission. She's like, you know what? I've done all I can do with that. So now what I want to do is help people with the body, right? She was helping people with the mind, hit a ceiling. That's great. That's okay. Now I'm going to help people with their bodies. And I want to go into the nursing field because nutrition and fitness and well-being and health are very important to me. And I want to help others embody that. What?
Sweet.
Fucking awesome, dude. And if anybody gives you guff, you send them to us, all right? And we'll tell them.
bettermentbros@gmail.com.
Yeah, because they got stuff that we need to help them with.
Yeah, we solve problems. We also send out threats.
That's right. That's right. We'll get out there.
Like, I don't like violence, but sometimes.
Yeah,
No,
but like in your case, we'll get your back.
yeah.
No, we're not no mafia or nothing, but
Sober gang.
sober gang. No, but like one of the things that kind of struck a chord with me too as you were talking, Dal, was kind of that loss of identity that she's experiencing, right? Like in her message, she talks about she's kind of known as the girl that's always traveling, always partying, just like
trendsetter,
just partying through life, got the Instagram pics, you know what I mean? Like, and now that's gone. And I sense that a lot of this shame is the result of a loss of identity. Right. If I don't identify as Emily, the trend-setting, partying, fucking, traveling teacher, then who am I? Right? I'm just the sober girl that lives at home because I suck, right? Well, I think that through loss of identity, a really powerful reframe for me, because I worked at the same place for 11 years, and that's gone. And it's funny because people have come up to me and been like, dude, you're Jeremy with Elevate. Like what, and now I tell them confidently and powerfully, I'm just Jeremy, dude. You know what I mean?
I've always been, yeah.
And I'm just me. So I think with loss of identity, it is a loss. And I feel that you can grieve that loss. You can grieve the loss of the alcohol and the partying and the traveling. Take your time, grieve with that. And we'll help you with some resources to do that, right? While grieving, also recognize that through loss, you open up all this space for infinite growth, right? If I got a dead tree in my front yard, right, and the tree dies, it's like so sad, oh my God, this tree is 150 years old, it's dead now, and I got to uproot it. And then you see this huge hole. A lot of people see like this big empty space, this empty void of what once was. The reframe is looking at what that can be now. What can I grow there in its place? And I feel that with your recovery, with your new career in nursing and health and fitness and nutrition, so much room you've just opened up for all this growth as a being, as a person in society, as a friend, a daughter, a girlfriend, whatever. And what I want you to know is that once you identify that, once you identify as that, once you embody that and present to the world as that Emily, you will then attract and create people that are on board with that. You create that reality through this growth. So grieve the loss, right? Acknowledge the fact that, yeah, like, dude, there's times where I miss fucking Party Jeremy, dude. That guy was crazy. Super fun, you know, like, and there's times I miss that.
Of course, yeah.
And I don't like shun that. I don't like recovery perspectives that shun that. That version of you is bad. No, it's just me. It was just me fucked up. I'll miss that sometimes, and I acknowledge that. I say, yeah, it's okay to miss that. Mm-hmm. Like, why not? What I also know is that, wow, look at what I've become because of that, right? And it's beautiful. So as a practical exercise, Emily, I'd like you just to consider grieving that loss while also picturing what are the infinite possibilities of my life now that I've created all this space to grow. What are the infinite possibilities? Really sit with that. Start writing them down. Embody that, present as that, and you'll notice your entire life will change. Your social circles, everything will adapt with you as you grow into that.
I love that, dude.
Yeah.
I really like that. Yeah, it's kind of the ultimate reframe of what can I do with this?
Yeah.
Which is cool because I feel like she knows what she wants to do, and that's the hardest part.
For sure.
Some people struggle and they stay in motion and take no action because they don't know what direction.
Yeah.
But at least you're going down the path.
Yeah, you're
already on the path.
Yeah, man.
A forward moving path, I may add.
Yeah, dude. That's right. You're moving forward on your path.
Moving forward. But yeah, I think we touched on we definitely touched on some early recovery stuff.
Yeah.
I think a couple other things that I feel like just have to be stated, for early recovery type situations is, fuck, man, I think the gym, sounds like she's already in the gym.
Yep.
Right. I would definitely suggest meditation groups, smart recovery,
yep.
refuge recovery. She did say her tiny county town.
County town.
She might have meant country. I don't know.
I don't either.
But she said tiny county town.
Yeah, it might be country town.
Which makes me believe that the resources maybe aren't as fruitful as other cities.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm taking the time to let you know that there's plenty of resources online. I mean, shit, you found our podcast.
Yeah.
Right, that we do in goddamn Santa Cruz, California, in Jerry Miller's studio. Right?
That's right.
So there's so much resources out there, and we'd love to help you find them.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think getting back into creating that support group, you know, maybe broadcast your recovery to people that care about it.
Yeah.
And you start there. So that's huge for me, is finding more people like Jeremy, like me, like you, like-minded, and hold on to them.
Yeah.
Because they're going to support you along the way, especially in early recovery when it's hard to trust yourself.
Right.
Anything you wanted to add as far as early recovery stuff?
I really encourage her to put it out there. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously don't if you don't want to or if you're not comfortable with it. But I think that the chances are very high that you'll be pleasantly surprised at the support you'll garner from doing it. Mm-hmm. Garner? Gain? I don't know if garner is whatever. You'll be very surprised at the support you'll gain. Okay?
Absolutely.
And I think that's important. And hey, like, if you need some help just doing that, we can talk offline. We'll support you through that. Whatever you need. Hell, you want to do it with us, we'll do it with you, dude. Like,
totally.
Whatever you want it to look like, we can help you create that.
Yeah, and I'm sure we know people in your area. We know a lot of people.
We do.
So we might even know some sober people currently in your city right now killing it.
Yeah.
So I think that's important.
For sure.
Another thing that I think is important is kind of like the social aspect, right? Of like getting out there.
Yeah.
Right? So one thing I know is most people, when they party and they drink, they do it on the weekends and they do it at night.
Yep.
Okay. With me, a big thing I had to do as a 22-year-old, 6 months sober in recovery, living the life of like Friday, Saturday, you party.
Right.
So that was difficult, right? So Friday night, what would I do? Instead of partying, I'd go skateboard with my friends. I'd go to movies. I'd go to the gym. Like I flip-flopped, right? Like all the social things that I would do them in the morning or in the afternoon.
Right.
When most people are just still sober and just being normal people.
Yep.
It's not triggering. It's not hard to be around. And right, it's not hard to be around people that drink when they're not drinking.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think that's a good reframe too. It's like adjusting the schedule where to some degree, right? Like you live this life where people party on the weekends or they party at night or they go out and party, and usually it's associated with nighttime.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think if you flip-flop some daytime and nighttime activities, you'll find that when you go to the gym in the morning, there's a bunch of people there and they could have drank the night before, but in the morning they're at the gym now, soberly, successfully working out. Good people.
Yeah.
Right? You go to school, there's people there studying, they're good people.
Yep.
Right? So they're out there.
Yeah, for sure.
But like you said, right, you project your perception of reality.
Yeah.
If you think that everyone drinks and parties and that's all they want to do and that's how being social is, that's all you'll see.
Exactly.
Jeremy and I are two very social people
Yep.
that haven't drank or done drugs in a very long time.
Yeah.
And we do little outings and stuff all the time. We're busy as hell.
You got to create the opportunity to experience.
Right.
Right. It's not just going to fall into your lap all the time like partying does, right? But the more that you encourage that and invite that, the more it'll appear.
Of course. I think that's the big point. Let me see here, man. If I had one more thing. One thing I did want to suggest resource-wise is a book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. He talks a lot about like environmental cues. He talks a lot about kind of what we did earlier, where it's very easy to do things when everyone's doing them.
Yeah.
Good or bad.
Right.
Right. So there's a lot of good data out there. If you find yourself lonely on a Saturday night, hop into a book to better your life.
Yeah.
That's what I had to do too.
Yep.
Okay. What could I do to better my life today? That question, dude, has gotten me to this couch.
Right.
What can I do to better my life today?
I love that question.
And then you come up with all these solutions. You come up with all these ideas.
And it's usually fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can ask yourself, why am I a loser for not having plans this Saturday?
Right.
And they get some answers to that too.
Yep.
And they're just not as helpful. They're not as fruitful.
Yep. Yeah, I think if I had, something that to, in closing to touch on, I really wanted to talk about shame. And, shame is something that we could spend days talking about, dude. And I think for Emily, what I'd like to really kind of boil it down to is, shame is that inherent feeling of something about me is wrong, right? There is something inherently wrong with me. And there's nothing wrong with you, Emily. Nothing. Who you are is who you are. And I want you to embrace that, embody that, and love that. When you're working with shame, shame is what you keep in the closet, what you keep under the couch, right? It's something that you don't look at, you don't talk to, you don't love on. And it's born out of these things that you believe about yourself that aren't true. And when you're working with these beliefs about yourself, it's important to be really delicate. And I think where a lot of modalities kind of conflict with my philosophy is that we look at them as character defects. What's wrong with me, right? I really don't like that lens because who you are is who you are. All these pieces of yourself, while they may not serve you, they're not wrong. It's not defective. It's just no longer serving you, perhaps. But at some point, it did serve you. So why would you shun that or shut that out? It protected you at some point. So there are a lot of resources I have because, the reality is that we can't work through your shame in a one-way format. Dallas and I can't sit here and tell you about your shame and not have a two-way communication about it, right? But the important thing to know about shame is that feeling inherently wrong stems from core false beliefs that are generally projected onto you at a very young age by external factors, right? So when you're a kid and you're just bebopping around having fun playing through life, you're not walking around like, oh my God, I'm such a piece of shit. Like most 4-year-olds don't think they're a piece of shit, right? I think I'm a piece of shit, but I'm 33 years old, right? And all these experiences that I've had in life have proved that to me. But it's not the experience itself that proves that. It's my emotional interpretation of that experience that proves that to myself, right?
Right.
It is the way we perceive the experience in the environment that gives us and reinforces those core false beliefs. So I'm going to refer you to a book. It's called Conscious Recovery. We've talked about it on the show before. And the author, TJ Woodward, who's a dear friend of me and Dal, he does a lot of work with shame. And this book is recovery-based, right? So this is going to propel you into your long-term sobriety and also help you dig into these deeper root causes. But in the meantime, what I want to offer, a couple weeks ago, I mentioned this book, Dal, that I'm reading, The Dark Side of the Light Chasers by Debbie Ford.
Can't wait to tap in on that bad boy.
Dude, this book is awesome, okay? So, there's an exercise I'm going to offer you, and it's from the book. I highly recommend you buy this book. It's incredible.
What is the book called again?
It's called The Dark Side of the Light Chasers.
Gotcha.
By Debbie Ford.
Debbie Ford.
Yeah, and this book is fire, dude. But Emily, check this out. This book invites you into a meditation where you gently close your eyes and, drop into your heart space, which means just kind of, settle into your body and listen to what's going on. And then take the time and listen for the answers coming from deep, deep within, okay? And the questions are, is this really my own idea or did I adopt it? And we're talking about core false beliefs. Why do I have this belief? Does this belief empower me? What would I have to give up to alter this belief? Now, when you come to all the answers to these questions, you're going to write them in a journal, okay? So I'll give them to you one more time. Is this really my own idea, or did I adopt it? Why do I have this belief? Does this belief empower me? And what would I have to give up to alter this belief? Those are very, very powerful questions because generally speaking, you'll find a lot of resonance with these beliefs that you hold about yourself that creates and propels this shame of I am broken, I am wrong, I'm not worthy, I'm a failure. And so what I want you to do is I want you to pick up a copy of this book, do these exercises. I want you to get a copy of Conscious Recovery and do those exercises. What I don't want is for you to wallow in your shame, thinking and presenting to the world as though you're a broken person, because Emily, we're both sitting here telling you you're a total rock star. You're a total badass. So what we really strongly advocate is for you to spend this time at your folks' house while you're stacking cheddar and you're learning to do a lot of your own personal work. This life that we have is such a beautiful thing, and we have one that we know of. We have one time to do as best as we can. You're on that path. The self-work and being able to drop into your heart space and listen, these are the things that are going to further propel that in your recovery, in your life, your career, everything. And the more work you do on you, the more people you attract that are also doing work on them. And guess what? Before you know it, you've got a great relationship. You got great family standings. You got a great career. All these things line up the more you continue your own personal work on this path.
Boom.
That's my final thought.
That's one hell of a final thought, Jerem.
Yeah, man. Anything come up for you during that?
I think the only final thought that came up for me is I want Emily to know that this is kind of just the start of our relationship as well.
Yep.
And that we always kind of say it, right? But no 45-minute podcast is going to solve all your problems. But the ability to reframe your problems is extremely helpful. And we're in your corner to help you navigate the next steps that come up, or to offer more solutions, advice, guidance, reframes for the next endeavors.
Yep.
And like Jeremy said, I think validating you for A, reaching out, being vulnerable, validating you, B, for being sober and being a total rock star, badass, and C, I think that you are highly attuned, or at least very emotionally intelligent. And I think that will get you a lot farther than the people projecting onto you about where you are compared to them.
Yep.
Right? And yeah, my final thought, dude, is totally the like thing Simon Sinek always says, right? Is like you're not competing against them, you're just competing against you.
Yeah.
How can you get better than you were yesterday?
Yep.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's the game that we're all playing. There's no other game.
Nope.
So why do they matter?
Right.
I get why they do, right? But I'm asking you, why do they matter?
Right.
How can you be better than you were yesterday when you wrote into the show?
Yep.
What would that look like?
Boom.
And do that again tomorrow.
Beautiful.
And let us know how it goes. We'll
Yeah.
be here.
Yeah, and I want to just tack one more thing onto that is
Tack it on.
that, dude, if I could buy Emily stock right now, you better believe I would, dude. This is like buying Amazon stock in 95, bro.
This is about to go up.
Yeah, dude, if I could, I would. And on that, Emily, this is a journey. It's an ongoing process. We're officially in your corner. So whatever you need, hit us up. If you're listening to this and you're not Emily and it's resonating with you, hit us up. You know, if you're struggling with shame, I mean, shame is something I would love to talk about more on the show. So if this is something that you're experiencing, let us know, man. We want to advocate for you. Also, Emily, if you're looking to get some help in generating your side hustle and getting these things moving, you could also write us about that. I mean, we started, when we both came into the recovery game, we had nothing. And now we're in the kingdom. You know what I mean? Our own personal kingdom of which we are kings.
Very
right?
true.
We want you to have the same thing. That embodiment that you run your life, that you run the show. So if you need help continuing that journey, make sure to let us know. If you're listening at home and you've got a situation that you're struggling with, or that you just want to share with us, you want to share something cool in your life, hey, hit us up. You find us on social media. We're at Betterment Bros. If you want to go to the stupid ass website that is somehow now getting tons of traffic.
Tons of web traffic, dude.
You go to betterment-bros.com for a super huge blown out picture of us, man. It is so fucking brutal.
It is so big.
It's so big.
You could see every follicle of my beard hairs.
Yeah, you can. Literally.
Every one.
Yep. But we are in the process of a rebuild. All right. So be gentle. Let's see. What other plugs do we got, Dal?
What other plugs?
We got a special guest.
That's what I was just about to say.
Yeah, a couple weeks, we're going to have a pretty explosive special guest on the show. We're not going to tell you guys who it is.
It will also be in a special location.
That's right. That being said, if you're interested, if you want to come on the show and talk about your problem with us in person and you're local, let's fucking do it, dude. That's something I really want to do, is get someone in here that we can be with.
Real live type of thing.
Yeah. We prefer local. We'll do it over Zoom if you're into it. It's just you lose a little bit of quality when you do it over Zoom. But either way, you guys, we're in your corner. Emily, good luck. Keep us posted. We'd love to share some follow-up with the audience on how it's going. For those of you who've listened to the Jerry episode, which was 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah.
We're going to get Jerry in here at some point to do a little follow-up with us.
Yeah, just a live follow-up.
Yeah, she doesn't know that yet, but it's coming.
It's going to come. Yeah. And just quick live update on her. She's crushing it.
Yeah.
She got a gift card from her boss.
Boom.
Being like, dude, you're so awesome. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you and your hard work. Like, you're the best.
See that, Dal?
Within 2 weeks.
She just stepped into her power,
That's
bro.
it, dude. So there's kind of an update for the audience with Jerry, and we'll have her tell you guys on the mic in person.
Boom. So that being said, you guys have a great week. Get those books, The Dark Side of the Light Chasers by Debbie Ford, Conscious Recovery by TJ Woodward, and Atomic Habits by James Clear. And, just chip away at them as the week goes on. Doesn't matter how much or how little you read, guys, as long as you're doing more than you did yesterday, you're fucking crushing the game.
Boom.
That being said, I'm Jeremy Miller.
I'm Dallas Terrell.
Take it easy.
that good?
Sit back, relax, get out of the weeds.
Get out of the weeds and watch us dive the fuck in.
Yeah, dude. Everybody's like sitting at the side of the pool,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's like a hot summer day. They're eating nachos and hot dogs, 4th of July maybe, right? And we're about to jump off the diving board. And the audience is like, I wonder if they're going to do a dive or maybe a front flip. But either way, it's going to be epic,
I'm going
dude.
to watch and I'm going to soak up the after splash.
Yeah, the after splash just to cool down.